In Illustrator, you do not have to care about resolution because it's all vector. And when it gets output and has to be converted into pixels for ripping it, then this always happens at the optimal setting of the device it's happening on. This can also be your monitor when just viewing that thing. But then why does this resolution setting exist? The one in here or the one when you're setting up a new file? Let's take a look at that. You've got some vector artwork in here, and then we've got all these effects. Now, in the top part of that menu, most of it is vector. So the effects, when they need to be converted to something, then it will be a vector path. But some of them are pixel-based effects. So 3D and materials, for instance. Some of the 3D classic. And then, of course, rasterize and some of the stylize effects. And also when you're using SVG filters and your file will not be an SVG, then those will be converted to raster as well. And then, of course, everything in the Photoshop effects. But as long as you're using that inside your file, then it's no problem. So when I'm using drop shadow in here, then I still have a vector object. And when changing the view into the outline view, then there is no raster which is embedded here because this is calculated on demand. Whenever I need to view it, then it's being calculated and I get to see it. But that changes the moment when you're not working in native files anymore. So the native file is an AI file. But when you're exporting it to, for instance, a PDF, then inside the PDF, the shadow will not be created live anymore. It will be rasterized the moment when you save that PDF. Also, when you are saving an AI file and saving it PDF compatible, then what Illustrator is doing is it's saving two parts in that file. And one of them is a PDF and the other one is an AI file. And when you open that in Illustrator again, then Illustrator opens the AI file. Every other application opens the PDF part of the file, and inside of that, your shadow will be rasterized. Also, when you are placing that AI file in InDesign uses the rasterized part. So the shadow in InDesign will be rasterized. This also means there needs to be some sort of resolution applied to that because that's how raster images work. And that also means when you have placed the AI file, or rather the PDF in InDesign, then you no longer can enlarge it that much without respecting the resolution which is inside. And that's where the trouble begins, and that's also where the resolution kicks in. So let's take a look at the document raster effects setting. And inside of that, you have a lot of settings, and the important part for this video is this one here, the resolution. You can select from several options, and you can also set up other to input whatever you like, or whatever is supported by Illustrator. And of course, you need to figure out what makes sense for you. Let's close this here. And we're going to take a look at another file that I have already prepared, which is this one here. This file uses a lot of stylizing effects. Let's take a look at that in the appearance panel. So you see it's Gaussian blur applied, and we have some shadows and stuff like that. A lot of rasterization that will be going on inside of that PDF. You see it's named 300. I've done that because I have applied a document raster effect resolution of 300 ppi. That refers to the size of that object in here. So let's take a look at that, at how large that is. I'm going to set this to millimeters because that's what I like working with. So it's about 12 by 12 millimeters. And the effects are rasterized at that size at 300 ppi. Let's just change that. And you can change it as long as you're working in that file back and forth, and it will be applied then afterwards. Let's change that to 1000 and go to OK, and then I'm saving that again. So let's go to Save As, and save that as a new file like this, and also create PDF compatible file, because that's what we are looking at. You see, it takes a while, and that is because it's quite huge. And now let's see what we got. So this is the original file. It has 1.7 megabytes. And this is the new one, which has 13 megabytes. So something in there became quite large. That's the first indicator of that. Let's do something else. So as you have seen, we didn't have influence on that rasterized part inside the PDF in the saving dialog boxes. But you might have seen that these exist. So when I'm going to save as and change that to PDF and then go in here, then we have all these settings, and one of them is compression, and there we could downsample that. Now, as you see, this is set to the default, and the default means that Illustrator does not apply compression or anything to that when saving the Illustrator with the PDF compatible part. But in here we have that. So first of all, I'm going to uncheck this. So in this PDF, there won't be an AI file embedded. Let's go to the compression here, and I'm going to downsample that. Let's apply that to color and grayscale images, and I'm going to downsample them to 150 ppi. That's okay. So they will be large. I won't compress them. And then let's look into output. I'm not converting the color, so let's just save that. Here's the warning that there will not be an AI file embedded, and that's okay. I do not want that. And now that's that. So this is now a PDF. I should not continue working in that, so I'm closing it. And then let's take a look at it. And you see, it got smaller again. So what has happened? And let's take these two and open them in Acrobat, because we've got a pre-flight in there. Let's go to that pre-flight again, and let's just analyze this again. So here is the resolution, and you see we've got all these images, and they are all at 150 ppi. That is that. Let's go to the other file, and let's do an analyzation again. And here we have them all at 1000 ppi. So that's inside that PDF. Let's take this to InDesign. Here we have an InDesign file, and then let's take these two here, both of these AI files like this, and we've got them in here. We have seen that there are actually raster elements inside of that. So let's go to the links panel, and you see we do not have resolution in here, not original resolution and not effective resolution. That is not listed for things inside of a PDF. And in order to find that out, you have to set up your own pre-flight profile, and I have already done that. So what you have to do is define a profile, and then inside of that profile, go into the images and objects, and there you need to check what you want to check. So I have set this quite low because I want it to kick in. But of course, you will need other values. It has already done that. And we see that there we have 1000 ppi, and inside of this we have 300. That's what we expected. It's just kicking in because I have set it so low. But now we have prepared this, and this is a logo. So what you expect from your logo file might be you have one logo file and can use that for everything from the business card to the large billboard. And there's what the trouble begins, because if you set it up like that, then this logo might need to be quite large. And then on your business card, you need to scale it down. Let's do that. I'm going to take these two and then just scale them down to the size that you might need on a business card or on a newspaper ad. And now you see this has kicked in again, but we have effective resolution, which is quite high. So we have things that are at 12,000 ppi at effective resolution, and that is a lot, especially if InDesign needs to resample that and flatten the transparency inside of that, because that has not yet happened. So InDesign might need to flatten transparency, and then it needs to compute all that huge images with that high resolution. So in this case, you might actually need to prepare different sizes of your logos that you put inside your business card and newspaper ads and whatnot, and another size for the huge billboard. So that's what the resolution is about and what it creates actually.